Got a short break while we bring in the Bayou Seco, and we're going to have some live music with Ken Kepler and Jeannie McCleary. Before that happens, I want to remind you all that there's a movie opening this weekend at Gene Siskel Film Center. We are lucky enough to have Heather Booth on this show next Saturday morning, but you need to know that the movie opens on Friday night. And I'm telling you, this movie will sell out. Friday night it's at 7:45, and it's benefiting the Chicago Women's History Center. And let's see what else. It's a documentary that traces the ongoing legacy of one of our most favorite activists and organizers, Heather Booth.
And just because we like our friends at Gene Siskel Film Center, starting this weekend is a phenomenal documentary I hope to get a chance to see on Jane Jacobs, who is a somewhat famous urbanologist, most critically studied, came out of Canada, and this documentary looks at New York planning and what's affected a booming metropolis like New York. But it applies to Chicago, based on the reviewer that I read, and I think that would be another one to check out. But next week, Heather Booth right here and live from the Heartland. It'd be really great.
And now we are so glad to have our guests from Silver City, New Mexico. They came a long way to be on this show.
We sure did.
That's right.
We've got Bayou Seco, and this is a duo made up of Ken Kepler and Jeannie McCleary.
Hello.
That's right.
Good
Howdy,
morning
howdy,
to you guys.
Howdy,
Hey,
everybody.
welcome.
Yes,
You know, I met you
Dzień dobry.
a few times down in El Paso during basketball in the barrio.
Yeah.
And I know you do a radio show up there in
It's happening
Silver
right
City.
now.
It is. And who'd you get to sing
who's
for you
covering?
today?
Well, it's on remote.
It's, yeah,
Oh, you
pre-recorded.
pre-recorded it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's an
Yeah.
idea.
Roots and Branches, it's called.
yeah,
On
and
KURU Radio, GMCR.org.
10,500 watt community station. It's
Yeah.
not NPR or any of that stuff. It's a community station.
Well, I'm going to ask you right off, what's going on in Silver City? Because, you know, my first introduction to Silver City, which is a town I did visit back in '66, was when there was a film that was made about
Right.
Silver City and a big strike called
That's right.
Salt of the Earth.
But that was made in 1952.
Yeah, so it's not as progressive a town as it was then?
Well,
Yes, it
you know,
is, more
actually,
so.
it used to be. It's like a blue spot in southern New Mexico.
Oh, it is?
Yes, it is. Yeah, and so our local congressperson doesn't bother to come there very often. He sends people that don't mind getting yelled at, and so we do that, and you know, it's just a really active. A lot. We have like 60 or 70 nonprofits in town, and then we have the radio station. The people are on that, and our county assessor has a show on the radio, and he's
How big a town is it?
it's 10,300.
Uh-huh.
But
And when did you all show up there, and when did you guys meet and start
Well,
Bayou Seco?
We
Fill us
went
in.
there 20 years ago. We wanted to get out of Albuquerque. Didn't want to
Uh-huh.
grow old there. And
Yeah.
we went down to Silver, made our own house, built our own house.
Nice.
And I teach children fiddle. He still makes violins and fixes violins and mostly does radio.
There's
right
over
now.
150 violins out there being
Yeah.
played probably today that you made.
That's right.
oh yeah, Ellie, yeah, over that, yeah.
But we met way back in '78 in Eunice, Louisiana.
How about playing us a little tune? You know,
All right.
you bill your music as Chili Gumbo,
Should
so
we play,
it's anything
Ohio
west
Love
of the
That You Did?
Mississippi.
Okay.
And you know, I've heard a lot of different things. I've heard they're getting ready, Kate. They got to
He
pull
was
them.
going to say something.
Okay.
It's all right. It's all right.
Okay.
You know.
Okay, we'll do one called "Oh How I Love That Chile Verde," and you can sing
And
along
I
out
do.
there in Radio
That's
Land.
Chili's.
And Chile Rojo, that's the red one.
I love these instruments.
Oh, you better unhitch.
Better unhitch there.
Oh, how I love that Chile Verde, that Chile Verde, that Chile Verde. Me gusta mucho Chile Rojo, oh Chile Rojo, oh Chile
is that what you call a
Diatonic accordion.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, it's
You
made
die
out of
for
diatonic, the
Diet Coke
diatomaceous
accordion.
earth.
Say that one more time.
Diatomaceous earth.
What is
No, never mind.
Okay,
That's a
good.
bad joke. Sorry.
So when did
Another
you
one.
guys learn to speak Spanish?
Well, Jeannie learned,
Well, he learned in East LA where he grew up.
yeah, I grew up in East Los Angeles, you know, I went to East LA City College, and we had a chapter at SDS there for a while.
Aha.
Yes, and I met a whole bunch of people there. And
I learned on the fly. Here and there in Mexico and
Where'd you grow up?
New Jersey.
Ah, Jersey girl, like my wife.
Yeah.
And you grew up in
Me-
California?
East LA.
in East LA, right?
Uh-huh.
We met right in the middle.
Carnales.
And how did you two
you
meet?
met
What was
Louisiana.
the wonderful occasion upon your meeting?
Oh my gosh, there's too many to say.
Yeah, right.
But we knew it was it. This was it. The second time around for each, and
Right.
within about 24 hours, I went, "Phew, I found him.
Oh,
Like a needle in the haystack.
nice.
You
Where
know?
was that?
That
Eunice.
was in Eunice, Louisiana. Actually, I mean, there's a much longer story, but you don't have time for it.
Oh, it would take
We met
hours.
once before, where I was,
But we lived there for almost 3 years in Eunice, and we loved the Cajun culture. But
Sorry,
It was
listeners,
hard on
we're
me.
gonna have that story after we get off the air.
yeah,
Huh.
it was hard on my health because I'm allergic to mold and mildew. So that's why we moved to New Mexico,
Dry.
It's dry.
and
place.
that's been a great
we
place for
worked
us.
down there. She worked in a factory sewing
I was in the
collars on.
Jansen sewing factory making $2.71 an hour.
And I worked at the university for a while as doing we call that,
Landscape.
landscaping, and I lost my job because I exposed racist hiring practice and promotion practices at the university. But at least the people who weren't getting promoted and stuff got promoted.
That's
So
good.
that's
Good
what
for
we did
you.
it for, yeah.
And
We
then he
brought the
worked
whole
as a
regions down
mechanic.
there.
The radio
Fixing
station you're on
traffic.
seems to be itself kind of a center of, dare I say, alternative culture and music? Or is
Yes.
it in
Yes.
fact the
Yes.
In
music
fact.
you found when you went there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So tell us a little bit. I mean, you do dances, you do concerts, but you
Yeah.
have this radio
Last night we
station.
played up at in Skokie at Seaman Violins.
How did that
Oh, it
go?
was
We're good,
great.
yeah. We had a
Wonderful.
great jam session afterwards.
We had a concert
Nice.
first, and then
Yeah.
the night before we were on WZRD radio.
Yeah, Wizard.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
really fun.
They're
and now we're
wonderful.
heading up to Lanesboro, Minnesota to play a festival next weekend.
So yeah, listeners, we're having them so that you can go to Minnesota and catch them.
Right.
We want to sing a song though about Salt of the Earth. It's not really about, but
Let's
Please
do it.
it's called Fierro, and it's about mining in our area. Fierro
The
is a
same
very
mine.
little mine. Yeah. And they wanted to tear down the church and the cemetery to get out more copper. This is copper mining out there, folks. And the grandmothers lay down in front of the bulldozers, the classic thing. And
Is it still Anaconda?
No,
it's Chino.
not, yeah, the
And
Chino
Phil-
mine,
Phelps
but,
Dodge.
yeah, it's not Phelps Dodge anymore, it's that other one,
It's not Chino.
yeah, I can't remember the name. of it.
Okay, let's hear the music.
Anyway,
This
this
is
is written by our
exciting.
friend Anna Eggy. She's not born in Silver City, but raised there, and she lives in Brooklyn. She's a good songwriter, and she wrote this for some kind of a radio play, I think.
Yeah, well, she actually went out there and heard this story and
Right.
read about it and wrote it from that.
And so it's a song we like, and you can sing on the chorus. Fierro, New Mexico, home to many a miner's soul.
Okay.
There
Alrighty.
ain't much left of this little town, but the old church they want to tear down. Grandma won't have it, she will lay herself down in the path of that demon machine. Fierro, New Mexico, home to many a miner's soul. Fierro, New Mexico, home to many a miner's soul. Down the road and across the tracks, the old cemetery by the new smokestacks. Rumors fly and I believe they're true. The mine will take what it can from you. Fierro, New Mexico, home to many a miner's soul. the mesquite. The mind wants the land where the dead ones sleep. Ah, but they can't have our resting place. Pray to Santa Rita for saving grace. Fierro, New Mexico, home to many a miner's soul. Fierro, New Mexico, home to many a miner's soul. And a baby with that.
I'm loving this music, and I am a lucky guy that got 3 copies of your CDs.
All right.
And just I've got here Bayou Seco following in Tune Prints, Bayou Seco Bouquet, and Bayou Seco Sunnyside. But I was looking at the literature that you sent me, and you have a lot more albums.
About
How do
11.
people get your music if they don't find it in their
Website.
local rep store?
Website, BayouSeco.com.
That's spelled BAYOUSECO.
And it's a PayPal account, if you can buy them on PayPal. Very easy. Just go on the site, look for the store, and look and see what we got, and we'll mail them to you.
Well, you have certain regular gigs that you probably hit every year. What's coming up besides Waynesboro that people out there in the
Waynesboro.
universe
Lanes-
might...
No, Lanesboro.
Lanesboro,
Yeah,
yeah,
Well, we're going to be playing in Kansas City and Independence and Olathe
right?
at the end of the month, but then the Albuquerque Folk Fest on June 3rd. Basketball in the Barrio on the 17th of June down in El Paso. And we're going over to Europe again in July and playing in France and England.
How do you like being on the road?
We do.
Yeah, we like it. We like driving around together more than anything else, you know.
Oh, we have a great time. We
That's so
laugh, we
great.
sing, we
Well,
look
you
at
could
the silly
play that
signs.
beautiful fiddle, the harp,
Yeah.
that was wonderful.
Well, thank you.
Your
It's pretty
harmonica is sweet.
Well, you got more songs, right?
We
Yeah, yeah.
could do a tune or a song. Would you like a tune?
Let's hear
It's
it.
like a
love it.
Tohono O'odham
We
tune
would
from
love it.
Arizona.
We only have 3
About a
more
minute.
minutes, so
Okay,
4
yeah.
more minutes, so
Well, I
let's
like
fill it
hearing
with
'em.
music.
Yeah.
You could ask
I
me
know.
another question, but
I
the
know,
music
I know.
is great. We get to
Okay.
sing along.
It's hard to.
And
Oh,
This isn't a sing-along, but that's all right. You
Oh, we don't
We'll
have-
like it. We'll play Blackie's Polka.
Yeah, we'll play Blackie's Polka, and this is from the Tohono O'odham people of southern Arizona. And they have about a 300-year-old tradition of playing 2 fiddles, thanks to the Catholics,
The Jesuits.
the Jesuits, right? Yeah.
They came
down
through with
there.
fiddles.
The first
Call them
gringo we-
jammies here.
Right.
And I'd like to
Infiltrators.
send this out to our buddy Russ Bradford, who loves this tune.
And Russ, we love you too. Thanks
And
for calling this
also-
morning.
All the people in Silver City who are listening, I hope a few of them are anyway. This is the Blackie's Polka.
Lovely, lovely. Dang, we get to New Mexico every once in a while. It's land of enchantment, truly.
Yes, it
for most
is.
of us.
Indeed.
How does Chicago respond to you? Your gig
Oh,
last night
Very
in
well,
Skokie?
so, yeah. it was
You know, our
nice.
music is pretty international.
Right. yeah.
Yes,
Nothing.
universal.
Yeah, and it
Appeal.
has a lot of roots from Europe, so in Europe we do really well.
Yeah, I mean, I hear the Irish
Yeah.
in that very, very
I
big.
bet you do.
I'll do you another, kid.
I do indeed.
Oh, yeah, sure, yeah.
I am
Well, it's
Oh,
too
yeah,
bad
sure.
we don't have time to sing Estas Lindas Flores.
Can you do it? We got time for, we got 2 minutes
Let's
left.
do a little quickie here.
All right.
Yeah.
This was written by our friend Antonia Apodaca, who's now 94.
Now we get to hear that
Still
accordion
going
again.
strong. And she wrote this about New Mexico, the true enchanted land. And it
You
says,
are the
"You are
beautiful
the flowers
flowers
that bloom and make our state enchanted."
All right.
Okay.
Bayou Seco.
Estas lindas flores que crecen por aquí parecen que hasta me hablan cuando pasan por ahí. Son lindas para ustedes, son lindas para mí. Parecen que les hablan pasando por aquí. ¡Ay, Nuevo México! Que te quiero tanto. Con tus lindas flores, con tus lindas gentes se les llena del encanto. Crecen en la mañana y sin descansar, alegra a todo el mundo aquí y todo lugar. Estas lindas flores tenemos que saber, de Dios el cielo las hace crecer. ¡Ay, Nuevo México! Que te quiero tanto. Con tus lindas flores,
Oh, ah, to the
lindas
people.
gentes se les llena del encanto. De estas lindas flores, muchísima alegría. Son buenas amigas, son buena compañía. El invierno ya no crecen, porque las marchita el hielo. Pero en el verano vuelvan a alegrar el mundo entero. ¡Ay, Nuevo México! Que te quiero tanto.
You got it now, baby.
Con tus lindas flores, con tus